Follow on down, grab a good seat, and we will see you when the show begins in just 5 minutes. Follow the sound of the music. Hobbit, take it away, boys. The hobbits love when you stomp your feet, clap your hands, and dance along to the song. Welcome to the Mirror Earth Time Machine Theater. My name is Kara, this is my friend Pete. Now, while we are dressed up in costumes, we are not the stars of the show. All of you get a chance to dress up and play a part of our characters. So let's take a moment and put on our imagination caps on first, and imagine we are no longer in knoebels, but in the land of Mirror Earth. And our first set of characters live in the forest. These are the forest animals. We got small ones like butterflies, slightly larger ones like turtles, and dolphins, we got foxes, and can anyone guess what this creature is? Correct, it's a stinky skunk. So if you're feeling cute and adorable and maybe a little stinker, maybe you will want to be a forest animal. Next, we head into the heart of the forest with a castle covered in vines. In this castle lives the brave King Rowan. The king has a cloak of golden green, a crown on top of his head, and a magical horn to which he used to call his woodland knight. Brave, tried, trusted, and true are his woodland knights. They have swords and shields which they use to defend the kingdom from all enemies. So if you're brave, maybe you will want to be a knight. The steel and might are all that you need. High atop the crystal mountain in the crystal palace live the princesses. The princesses have gowns of many colors and magic wands. Rumor has it, when they swirl the wands just so, you can almost feel the good magic. Can anyone feel the good magic out there today? Maybe you will want to be a princess. And then finally, we make our way down into the dungeons. Can everyone say dun dun dun? Deep in the dungeons live the trolls. The trolls have swords and shields, just like our knights. But they don't do anything good with them. Oh no, they go around focusing on the people in the face. Woo! leader is the serpent. The serpent is part lizard, part snake, but all evil. The serpent is a tool of poison you drink every day, but not the kind that makes you sick or die. This poison makes you a little bit more scary, and a little bit more smelly. But we all know you're not wicked, scary, or smelly, but if you're a troublemaker in your family, or your mouth, immediately you'll want to be a troll. And those are all our characters for our story today. I have 2 announcements. Announcement number 1. Our show is just not for the young, but the young at heart. So I see you grown up cowering behind some of your kids. We have some parts for you to play as well. You can play the king, the serpent, and you hear mom and dad make great trolls. Announcement number 2. Can everyone raise their right hand for me? And repeat after me. I promise. I will not pick up any props or costumes until Kara or Pete help me. Alrighty then. Also, if anyone has any furry friends, they can also join in the fun as well. So on the count of 3, run on over to your favorite costume trunk. As a reminder, forest animals are in the green, knights are in blue, princesses in yellow, and trolls are in red. So ready? 1, 2, 2.5, 3. Run on over to your favorite costume trunk, and please wait for me or my friend Pete to help you get dressed.
Muchas muy buenas. Yo te disfrazé muy buena. Vamos. Por aquí. Sorry, guys.
You can't do the show because
I see a couple oath breakers out there.
Betty, are you Olivia going to be the bad guy?
she's gonna be the head. Mama, this is bouncing up and down.
Uh-oh, there's a little princess up there.
That's a baby. Hi, princesses.
I'm so kind of cold.
What's that one little white costume? Is that a bunny?
Uh-huh. Are you sure you don't want to be in the show?
Over here.
Yeah, you can. You can.
You can go.
There are the knights. Over there.
I saw
about ready to start the story. About ready to start the story. Oh, sorry, guys.
You didn't buy cheese on a stick, did you? I did not. I was looking for it. They said it used to be in that one over there, but they purchased the cheese. That's like the best thing here.
Oh, there's princesses.
Oh, wow.
Somebody gets sick,
Please take your spots next to your costume trunks and we will begin our story. And our story this year is The Legend of the Unicorn. And it all begins with this blue thing in the middle. Can anyone guess what it is? A little bit bigger than a pond.
a sleeping bag.
It's not that cold enough for a sleeping bag yet. But yes, for those who said lake, you are correct. But this is just not any ordinary lake. A lake so clear, you can see all the way on to the bottom, all the way down. And all who drink it are extremely happy, all but one. Can anyone guess who? Correct, the serpent and its trolls. For as long as this lake exists, no one will want to drink the serpent's poison and become a part of their troll army. But that is all about to change. Late that night in the dungeon, the serpent and his trolls were pacing back and forth, trying to come up with a wicked plan. They scratched their heads, they scratched their chins, and they scratched their tummies because they're a little bit hungry. And then the serpent shouted, "Aha! Trolls, trolls, gather round, for I have came up with a wicked plan." So as the serpent and his trolls huddled around one another, they bent their heads down low and began to whisper. And the lower their heads got, the more wicked the plan became. Lower and lower and lower until they're practically laying on the dungeon floor. Then they all jumped up and let out a blood-curdling howl. Well, late that night, under the cover of darkness, the serpent and her trolls snuck down to the lake. The serpent and her trolls crouched down onto the water's edge, and the serpent stuck two of her fangs into the lake, pumping it full of poison. The trolls helped stir in the poison with their swords. Soon, the lake began to rumble and boil and churn, until it's no longer a crystal clear lake, but ugly, oily, polluted water. Once the serpent and her trolls were satisfied with the deed, they jumped up and went out a liquor laugh. Then to do the next horrendous thing of all, they did a silly dance all the way back into the dungeon. Can we get a boo for the serpent? Let's give it a round of applause. That's an excellent silly dance. The next morning, the animals yawned and stretched and skipped on down to the lake. We had a beautiful butterfly, a steamy skunk, and a cooked rabbit. They all knelt down by the water's edge, cupped the water in their hands, and was about to take a drink when the butterfly said, "Wait! Something smells funny." They both turned towards the skunk, and the skunk put her hands on her hips and shook her head. Not me. I took a bath last month. It has to be the lake." So they knelt down and took a big whiff of the lake. Then they shouted, "Hee you!" They all scratched their chins a bit, trying to place where they smelled this before. When the bunny said, "Wait, I recognize the smell. It is the serpent's poison. She caught me last week and almost made me drink it, but I was able to escape. Oh no, the serpent has poisoned our lake. What are we going to do?" The butterfly said, "Follow me." So the animals made their way into the muckwood forest. But once in a while, they had to duck under low-hanging branches. Please follow my friend and listen along to the story. They had to duck below low-hanging branches, hop over large logs, and run from the occasional swarm of bees. Until finally, they made their way and saw two giant oak doors, which they all knocked 3 times. Out from the gates come the brave King Rowan and his woodman knights. The king looked around for a moment and said, "Hello?" The animals said, "Down here." The king said, "Oh, hello, animals. What are you doing here?" The animals started to hop up and down, waving their paws, saying, "Your Highness, Your Highness, Your Highness! The serpent has poisoned our lake, and we do not know what to do." Upon hearing the word serpent, all the knights raised their swords and let out an angry roar. The king turned towards his knights and said, Now, there's no need for that. You see this horn around my neck? It was given to me when I was a young princeling. And he said, if I play a tune on it just right, in the hour of greatest need, I can summon a unicorn." So the king took a deep breath, cupped the horn to his lips, and began to play. The knights and the animals ran into the forest looking for the unicorn. They looked up high into the trees, looked down low into the bushes. They looked under the right foot, under the left foot, over the right shoulder, over the left shoulder, until the point they were spinning around circles. Busily, they walked back to the king, who was about out of breath. He asked, "Did you find her?" They all shook their heads no. The king then said, "Well, if I can summon her, I know some powerful princesses on Crystal Mountain that can. Follow me." So everyone made their way to the base of Crystal Mountain. Once there, they had to start climbing. They had to lift the arms up high and the legs up higher to climb over every crook and crevice. But the Crystal Mountain had a nickname for the slippery slope. But as the higher our heroes climbed, the slipperier it got. Soon, they were sliding all the way to the right, all the way to the left, and they were sliding back, until almost falling off the edge of the cliff, and they all screamed! When the rabbit said, "Why don't we take the stairs?" Everyone put a palm to their head and followed the rabbit up the spiraling stairs. Now our heroes have been traveling for 3 days with nothing to drink. Soon, their tongues started to roll out of their mouths, their legs began to wobble, and onto the stairwell floor. Oh no, is this the end of our heroes? Dying of thirst! Except for 2 nights they wanted to decide to die standing up. But one night still has some energy in him. And then the rest of the way and knocked 3 times on the palace door. And out from the door came the princesses. When he saw the knight before they can do anything, he really said, "Water!" before he collapsed onto the ground. The princesses looked over the knight and saw their friends dying of thirst. So all the princesses raised the wands and swirled them around. Soon the clouds began to gather, going from white to gray to black. And from a clash of thunder and a flash of lightning, out from the clouds came rain. Our heroes drank up the rain to the point that they hiccuped. As they hiccuped, they got up and let out a big cheer. Queen Evening Star walked up to the king. She walked up to the king and said, "Why are you dying on my side of the mountain?" The king bowed to the queen and said, "Your Highness, the serpent has poisoned our lake and we had nothing to drink." And upon hearing this, the queen wiggled a wand and said, Now, there's no need for that. You see, when I was a young princess, I was taught a tune to whistle, and if I whistle it just right in the hour of greatest need, I can summon the unicorn." So the queen took a deep breath, stood on tippy toes, you know how to whistle? Right, give it a shot. I'll give you a lick.
You're tired.
Began to whistle. Everyone ran down to the side of the mountain, looking for the unicorn. They ran to the north, they ran to the south, they ran to the east, they ran to the west, they went by northeast, southwest, northeast and southwest was really much direction. And then they all started to shout, "Unicorn! Follow you!" But they did not find her. With their heads hung low, they walked back towards the queen. And she asked, "Oh, did you find her?" They all shook their heads no. And it looked like everyone was about to cry. You have to go over your head. And all together, the princesses raised their wands and said, "Do not despair." But the unicorn is probably down by the lake as we speak. Terrifying it. We must go to greet her, but that is our only hope. So everyone followed the queen and the princesses down into the enchanted forest. Now the enchanted forest seems to be full of beauty and magic. But the trees had been drinking the serpent's poison up through their roots, turning them dark and twisted. Soon it got even too dark for our heroes to see. The princesses raised the wands aloft and let out a golden glow. Soon the trees got to see their friends as their enemies. The trees started to drop thorns and thistles onto the ground, and our heroes had to tiptoe over them. But once in a while, they would step on a spike and jump 6 feet in the air. Don't forget to say, "Ouch! Ouch, my tootsies!" Soon, they got too tired to hop as their legs dragged behind them. They soon thought they were not going to make it, and they burst through the line of trees. And what was once a beautiful lake was nothing more than an ugly, oily, polluted puddle. Our heroes came around the lake, knelt down on the water's edge, and began to cry. The crying was so loud that the serpent was able to hear it deep in her dungeon. She turned to her trolls, saying, "Trolls, we've done it! Now they're too tired to fight back. All we have to do is stick their heads into the water and we'll have enough trolls for bingo night." So the serpent and her trolls snuck down to the other side of the lake. And they crouched behind some ragweed. And sadly, these bushes that the serpent and the trolls snuck behind make them sneeze. But the one night, turned towards the bush because it was being sneezed on. He said, "That's not a sneezing bush. That is an ambush! Everyone to the other side of the lake!" So on the other side of the lake, the king and his knights stood in front, shoulder to shoulder. Behind them were the princesses, and behind the princesses were the animals.
Back to my friends.
The king turned towards his knights and said, "Knights, we're going to sneak up on that bush." So the king and his knights went on all hands and knees and crawled slowly towards the bush. Now, the serpent and the trolls were holding in the sneezes. The lungs got bigger and bigger and bigger till they and the audience let out the biggest sneeze you have ever heard. The king and his knights were blown onto their backs, arms and legs dangling in the air, covered in troll boogies. The serpent and her trolls jumped up and about ready to attack. The princesses pointed their wands at the serpent and the trolls, and the trolls started to shiver and shake. It started to shrink. Smile and smile and smile. It turned out the size of a blueberry. The king and his knights got up, dusted themselves off, and looked around, but did not see the serpent or the trolls. They turned towards the princesses and said, "Thank you for saving us, but we can't now fight what we can't see. Can you make them bigger?" At the side, the princesses said, "Very well." So they swirled the wands in the opposite direction. But they were so tired from the travel, the spell grew out of control. The serpent and her trolls got bigger and bigger and bigger till about the size of trees. Then, a great slow-motion sword battle begun! Steel clashed against steel, sparks illuminating the oily lake. The princesses did all that they could. They waved the wands in circles. They waved the wands in triangles. They even waved the wands in rainbows. But it was still not enough. The skunk decided to join in as well. She turned around, stuck up a tail, and tried to shoot the nearest troll. But it still wasn't, so she decided to jump up and down and cheer on the king and the knights, saying, "Go king, go knights!" Now, it might look like the knights and the king outnumbered the serpent and the trolls, but our heroes had nothing to drink for so long and had grown tired and weary, and the serpent and the trolls were tall as trees. Soon, the serpent and her trolls were able to knock the swords out of the king and knight's hands. All the knights scrambled to be in front of the king to protect him. They raised the shields up over their heads, ready for the final blow. But the troll saw something in the knight's reflection that it hadn't seen before. The only reflection, which they thought they were the most gorgeous creatures of all, but what they saw was a wicked and ugly reflection. Upon the sight, they all screamed! And all the trolls ran back into the dungeon, leaving the serpent behind. Furious at what the trolls have done, the serpent put down her sword and shield and shot blue lightning from her fingertips. Everyone in the kingdom was hypnotized. The arms grew up, stretched out in front of them, the eyes grew wide as saucers as they sleepwalked towards the lake. For the serpent had enchanted it to look like clear, cool, refreshing water. And everyone knelt down and was about to drink. Then, Queen Evening Star snapped out of it.
Mommy, look.
She stood up.
You see the baby?
She said, "Wait. I was whistling my tune all wrong." So she took a deep breath and whistled like she hadn't whistled before. Everyone threw the water back in. This enraged the serpent. She shot pink lightning from her fingertips, making the water look like refreshing pink lemonade. Everyone cupped their hands, took a big thing of the water, and was almost about to take a drink when the king snapped out and said, "Wait! I was playing my tune all wrong." So he grabbed his horn and played like he hadn't played before. Once again, everyone threw the water back in. But now, the serpent was so mad, she shot black lightning from her fingertips, making the lake look like Mountain Dew pitch black. Everyone knelt down, cupped the water into their hands, tilted their heads back, and were about to take a drink. But the combined power of the king and queen's tune, a mysterious wind sent it up higher and higher and higher to the highest peak. And there, in the hour of greatest need, the unicorn heard the tune and appeared. She stopped, seeing everyone about to drink the poison, and in a flash, she stood between the serpent and the lake. The serpent took 3 steps back and shot fire from her fingertips, pushing the unicorn back, until her back hoof was almost touching the lake, but she would yield no further. In a rage, the serpent lunged at the unicorn, piercing herself upon this horn, falling down flat. Wearily, the unicorn turned towards the lake, and with the touch of a horn, purified it. It was no longer oily polluted water, but crystal clear water once again. As our hero was splashing about in the cooling, purified water, in the shadows of the dungeon, steaming in jealousy were The trolls. The trolls left their swords and shields back into the dungeon. And they came walking out. Please leave your sword and shields. As they walked out of the dungeon, they walked up to our heroes and said, We're sorry for what our boss done. We're tired of being ugly, stinky, and wicked. Can we have a drink of that water? Should they have a drink?
Yes.
Resounding yes. So as the trolls knelt down, cupped the magical water in their hands, and as soon as it touched their tongues, it peeled off their helmets and it peeled off their cloaks. They were no longer wicked trolls, but the most adorable creatures you have ever seen. The unicorn had left our heroes one more gift. Up from the sky became the most magical, musical polka. So everyone jumped up and started jumping up and down and twirling all around. They were stomping their feet, clapping their hands, having a jolly good time. When the king said, Wait! The serpent! She's crawling towards the lake! Please no one block the serpent. As she crawled towards the lake, she said, This water, does it heal wounds? So she jumped in, body and all. And as she splashed about, magically, her scales on her head peeled off, and the scales on her back. She was no longer a wicked serpent, but the most lovely lady you have ever seen. She turned towards our heroes and said, I'm sorry for poisoning your lake. Is there anything I can do? They all scratched their chins for a bit. And she said, yes. They all said yes with a smile. You can teach us, you silly serpent, dance. So what she did with her arms, they did with theirs. What she did with her legs, they followed. And soon our heroes started doing their own silly dance around the lake. We got the nightly dance, we got the nightly boogie, the princess twirl, and the kingly shuffle. As our heroes did this, when the sun started to set and the moon started to rise high in the sky, they gathered around the lake once again. They lifted their arms up high and let out the biggest cheer I've ever heard. Hey, they did something else. No, they did something else magical. They turned towards the audience and bowed to thunderous applause. Well, that is the end of our story. Thank you for everyone who have volunteered. And if you want to know how the unicorn was able to